Peace to the family. Gotcha. Peace to the family. How you guys doing? Just waiting for y'all to come in. Just want to get a good build on though. Get a real good build. Very important. So part of the title for this session is Don't Get in the Way of the People Looking to Make Their Money. Peace to the family. Peace to you all. Hotep, Hotep, Hotep. Hotep. Tadu. Get used to it. Tadu is success. It also means high in our language, Indu Asusu, for the new covenant members. Alright? And Hotep means offering, actually. Doesn't really mean peace. Peace is established in light of the offering. So what I'm offering you is information, insight, vision, perspective. So that's why I say Hotep. Hotep is depicted as a table with bread on it, because it was customary if you came to engage another person coming to your house, you came with your Hotep, you came with an offering to let them know you're not looking to take away from them, but you're looking to add on. So I'm looking to add on, I'm looking to add value to your lives with perspective, with knowledge, with insight. So Hotep, with that I say Hotep. And salutations are everything. All over the world you got different communities that say shalom, peace, assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. Then you have another community of people that's saying what's cracking, what's popping. Very negative tones, negative connotations. And what happens is you can see that negativity perpetuate itself in the lives of the people who greet each other like that. What's cracking? What's popping? What's up, my nigga? Like you're the slave master. Yeah, I understand the etymology of the word nigga, but we know the average person saying it doesn't think about a title of nobility denoting the Ethiopian sovereign. So it's very important. From the time I start these sessions, I give you my Hotep, and that's the way it's said. I give you my Hotep, I give you my offering, and in that I'm coming in peace. I'm saying Tadu because the success is very important to us. So I want you to invoke the spirit force of success. I want you thinking success the second you say hi to another brother or sister. I want to say success to you, which also means high. That's the frequency we vibrating on in our language, Indu Asusu, which means living language. We have to do everything in our power to uplift each other, starting from the first word of the first sentence in our greetings to each other. Having said that, success, which means Tadu, and Indu Asusu, which means living language, and Hotep, which means offering, not peace, but peace is established in light of the fact that the moment someone engages you, they added value to you. That's Hotep. So I'm just giving you some context, because we say Hotep a lot, and then people be like, oh, the Hotep people, the Hotep community, they don't even understand how deep the word Hotep is. Hotep. All right? So that's the way I want to start off this session, with the knowledge. Now, the next thing I'm going to say, let me type the email. Okay, stay with me. Okay. Pinning the email at the top. There we go. Let's get it in. So I just gave you the Brother Polight 45@gmail.com email. You always forward your full name and your phone number when you're interested in the mentorship, which is a full-blown program where I'm coaching you 12 times a month, 3 days out the week, 30 minutes at a time. And those 30-minute sessions comprise of the days of the week that your schedule and my schedule is the most compatible. Upon payment, we commence the program. I'll tell you what apps to download, what accounts to set up, and we'll start meticulously going over the various income streams that correspond with the mentorship of your choice. They vary. Mentorship can be as low as $3,500 or as high as 10 grand plus. It depends. if you're getting a 3, 6, or 9 income stream program. This is just what it is. Consulting is $200 an hour over the phone, or $300 in person. If it's relationship consulting, it's $250. Okay, that's just what it is. And then you have the courses, which is $200. However, we're making it $120, and we're starting to put out classes right now. If you go to I Am Brother Polight YouTube channel, you'll see a cryptocurrency demonstration to get you prepared for the class. We actually have another one coming up Thursday. We have another one coming up that following Saturday. This is all in preparation to get you ready for the official course. Why are we doing it that way? Because rather than give you an 8-hour class, we're going to compartmentalize it and give you some free information. There's so much information, we don't mind giving you the free information that's going to assist us in assisting you, because we want to make sure by the time you take the course, you can make money in real time. So and I'm working with somebody else with it, because I'm coaching one of my mentees on how to be a teacher so he can be prepared. Okay? So that's what that's about. So what I'm doing is making sure you guys set up your new web browser. Make sure you guys know how to crypt it and code your data and the significance of that when you're dealing with decentralized applications. Making sure you guys get familiar with the nomenclature or the verbiage of the words that surround the cryptocurrency course and the insurance course and the understanding of credit when it comes to getting revolving lines of credit. The reason why this is important is because when we teach the course, we want to be able to just go straight through it and teach as though you already know the information. The only way we're going to pull that off is if we preemptively strike and we put out some free classes just so you could accumulate enough data. So right now, if you paid for the course and if you didn't pay for the course, but it's really to the benefit of the people that paid because they're actually going to do the course, you go to I Am Brother Polight and you'll see a crypto course up there. You'll see an introduction. We have another one coming that's going to be more elaborate in detail and more time committed to the explanations on Thursday in the evening. It's going to be about probably 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or something to that effect. Okay, so this is one or the other. So when people say, man, I can't afford the mentorship, all right, consultant. I can't afford the consultant, all right, get the course. Can't afford the course, you got to figure that part out at some point or the other, because I'm doing my part with the free classes. And my courses are designed to make sure that you know how to make money. Facts. The courses are designed to make sure you know how to make money after I taught you. Consulting is designed to make sure I could take what you already got going on. When a person pays for consulting, I send them a few questions so I can get an overview and make an assessment about what they need, so I can bring the necessary resources to the table. It might be links, it might be addresses, it might be people they can connect with, but I'm going to see to it that I can move you forward so you can further advance your goals or your agenda. That's how it goes. Okay? So, you have to be willing to invest in yourself. That's a fact. And so, I want to say, don't get in the way of the people that's out here to make their money and change their lives. What I mean by that is a lot of people are called. I have to keep saying it. Stop wasting my time. Stop wasting other people's time. I don't have a problem with people inquiring about little particulars they may think they need to know just to officially understand what they're about to do. But I put out a lot of information online with detailed descriptions, synopsis, so you can already have a concept of what's going on. So by the time you connect, hopefully you're just ready to make the payment or just about ready to make a payment. The reason why this is important, because people say, yo, I'm about to do this right now. They still do it. Yeah, okay, so tomorrow we're going to do this here, and I'm going to be ready right there. I'm like, okay, cool. And the administrators is like, yo, I don't know if people are doing this on purpose, but it has to stop, because while you are doing that, we can't reach everybody that's reaching out to us, because I'm getting millions of views. So I'm getting hundreds of thousands of different inboxes, texts, emails, DMs, depending on what social media we're using. And so with all the people that's looking for a response, when I call or an administrator calls, when we speak to you, that's one less person we can get to. because we can't contact every single body every day. We just can't. We can't touch base with everybody every day. So when we touch base with people, and I like to touch base with people, I like to give people the respect since they're reaching out to me, since they're listening to all these streams, since they support me constantly. I personally like to make sure that I give people the respect and make the effort to talk to them as well. I personally want to make sure that I can reach out to people that's listening to what I'm saying. But that's out of respect. I respect people for doing the knowledge. I respect people for sitting on these live streams, sharing in the energy, because it gives me purpose if I'm sharing information and you're actually taking heed to it. So I do my best to call as much as people as I can personally, and then I also have my brothers and sisters of the community, the administrators, call people as well and connect with them. And when you're there lying for no reason, yeah, I'm about to do this tomorrow. Oh yeah, okay, so set your schedule up. I talked to 2 or 3 people yesterday, just in good spirit. Yo, I'm doing it on the da-da-da. I'm like, yo, I took their word for it. I built with them. And guess what? One person I spent over 40 minutes with. Another person I spoke to them twice. I built with them 2 times that same day on the strength. He said, yo, I'm going to do it. I said, I ain't got no time to be waiting for you to make no payment to do the knowledge. I'm going to do the knowledge right now. And my wife is always telling me, stop doing that. Sure enough, everybody that I spoke to was bullshit. And it's like, you ain't have to do that. I would have built with you, and I could have just showed you love and point you in the right direction. You don't gotta lie and say, yo, I'm gonna get it right now in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Yo, I'm gonna call you back. Yo, I'm working. Okay, when I get off of work, I'm gonna hey, send me the agreement over here. I got you. After you do all of that, my wife be telling me, like, yo, stop doing that, because they're consuming a lot of your time. And then after you speak to someone for 30, 40 minutes, another person for 20, 30 minutes, another person for 10, 15 minutes, you're a little drained. Okay? You're a little drained. And then we on the cusp of 2 hours after talking to 2 or 3 people. And there's so many new emails and so many new texts. It's like, damn, you got people really sitting there wanting to move forward to make their bread. You got people really sitting there saying, you know what? I want to change my life. I got these children I got to feed. You got brothers over here saying, yo, I got to level up. My wife shouldn't have to live this hard, and I'm tired of her working for the white man. I need to find something to do. You got sisters out here like, I'm a single mother. I need to put in this pain. And I'm like, okay. And then those people we don't get to because other people are BSing. And it's not fair to them, because at a certain point then the course takes place, and then we don't get to enroll everybody that we need to enroll. We don't get to enroll everybody we need to enroll. And she's absolutely correct, right? So yeah, I'm not knocking people who need to just put a few pieces together. But I put enough free information out. So what's the consultation about? I'll tell you again. It's $200 an hour over the phone, $300 an hour in person. Watch how that works. It's recorded. And then I'll send you an email upon payment. Payment solidifies the date and the time of our engagement. That's how you set the reservation. Why? Because if you don't pay and I set the date, then you get the luxury of saying, hey, something came up, or you stopped picking up the phone because you embarrassed that you set the date, or you kind of said you was going to pay on that day, but you really didn't mean it. You just kind of said it because whatever reason you say it, and then here it is. I take time out my schedule to make sure I can commit to the day and time that you want to do it. And then you don't even have the decency to call and say, yo, I was bullshitting, or you know what, something came up, or I thought I was going to get this bread and I didn't get the bread. So here it is. That could have been someone else's consultant. I can only do that but so much because I'm also a father. I have to spend time being a father to my children, being a husband to my wife. And I need some time to keep studying, because it's the study that helps me share the information with you all, because I'm free enough to do study and do research. Then I got other clients that I work with and do things for, where I really make my money. People always say, how do you make your money? I'm a mentor. I'm a celebrity mentor, and it demands that I travel. And a lot of times these clients want me with them damn near 24/7. So when I disappear and I'm not on Facebook, it's because I'm moving around, I'm working, I'm grinding, I'm helping people with their holistic health, I'm helping their parents, I'm helping them in particular get prepared for their fights or whatever it is that they got going on. I help through wellness, or I help through the mathematics that's related to finance. That's what I do. And I appreciate every form of recompense. Nothing's too low or too big. I'm not going to set the price and then complain about it. But it's not fair to only me. It's not fair to other people that are serious when you consume our time. When people are calling and you making up stories and then you too embarrassed to say you was making it up because you just felt obligated to sound like you was going to do something. You're not fooling anybody, because after that, it puts you on our hit list like, yo, when you see that name, disregard it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that person right there, disregard it. You know, I'll tell you the most popular stuff. Yeah, I'm ready to do it right now. I'm going to call you right now. Oh, you know what? I got to talk it over with my wife. You know, my wife wasn't feeling it, so, nah, I ain't doing no. Yo, find all that out prior. Because after a while, it's starting to be a leading excuse for the liars. Like, some people probably telling the truth, but I'm telling you, you may think you saying some new game that we never heard, but we talked to so many different people. I can tell you, when I hear certain things, I already know this person's bullshit. Because that's how it be. People think they saying some new stuff. You ain't saying nothing new. Or don't try to get a consultation off a conversation. If I call you and you, yo, so what's this? So what's that? And I'm directing you to videos, because I'm like, yo, you can get that answer on those videos. That's how I conserve time and energy. Because I don't be having the time for that. I need the time to be doing the consulting. Like I said, I call people just out of respect because they be listening. So I respect people for listening to me. I'm listening to you. You know, some things ain't all about bread. Like, when I do these streams, it's not all about bread. Okay? So, yeah, it's right there. It's pinned to the top. brotherpolight45@gmail.com. Always leave your full name and your phone number. Never send an email without your phone number. Always leave your full name and your phone number. Why? We call you just to make sure it's not so formal that, oh, we just going to send you an email reply, pay us. I don't like that. I always say, yo, honor everybody who sends an email with at least one phone call. Talk to them. Build with them. You know, feel their spirit. They might have a question or two. I don't like to do the little email back and forth stuff. That's trash. I want you to talk to real human beings that's from your community. And at best, I would like to say something to you and say thank you for even listening, whether you buy or don't. Thank you for listening. That's just out of respect. That's the way I like to run things in my cipher. I don't like to subject you to just a text or just an email. You see a real person talking to you through this internet right now, and then we're going to subject you to only text and email conversations. That's corny. I'd rather you get the human experience. I'd rather it be as organic as possible. That's what I'm into. I want it to be as organic as possible. Facts. Facts. Look at this. Just out here, man. Just out here getting in there. We'll do some knowledge. Gotta do the knowledge. I ain't gonna be here for no reason. We'll do the knowledge. Baby, good. Oh, okay. I thought it was upside down. Yeah. Yeah, we just, we gotta do the knowledge, man. But, I'm saying, because, and the reason why I gotta say this, because I just was talking to somebody like, yo, Polight, I email you 2-3 times. Nobody been responding. Nobody been responding. And I'm like, that's because we constantly responding to other people who ain't serious. Sorry. And so I've been prolonging the course because it be a whole bunch of people that want it, but we got to dig through all the people that either think they slick or feel like they got to tell stories, and then they make us prepared to enroll them or whatever it is. We over here creating portfolios after people's names because as fast as we can move, we're going to do that. Because if we think somebody's doing mentorship, it's like set up their portfolio, hit up the insurance agent, talk to the trust fund manager. Because this stuff takes time, and we want to get the results that you're looking for in real time so we can be on to the next one. Because when it's mentorship, I can only talk to but so much people because I'm also consulting. If it's consulting, I can only talk to but so much people. If I consult and I'm getting paid by the hour, I wouldn't be able to consult more than 24 people a day if that be the case. Because that's 24 hours in a cycle. If I'm mentoring, I gotta coach people 3 times a week, 30 minutes at a time minimum, and a lot of times I go over the 30 minutes. So just between mentorship and consulting, how much people can I really deal with? And then I also make personal calls just to make sure everybody's all right and connect with people. And then I make personal calls with people reaching out saying that they want services. And then I got to do the live streams to put out the free information. Then aside from that, I got to be a daddy and I got to be a husband. And aside from that, I got my own business outside it. I don't really be calling this business because it don't pay the type of bills that I got. Facts. Okay? The type of lifestyle that I have, the type of vehicles I drive, the type of home that I live in, I can't. All money is good money, and it's not. I'm not undermining it, but the fact of the matter is, yo, this to me is how. This is my philanthropy. This is how I add value to the community. And like I told you in the beginning, this is my Hotep. Hotep in the hieroglyphics is depicted as a table with bread on it, because when you, by tradition, whenever you engage somebody, you came to add value to them. So bread was significant. Bread was the most common form of contribution because of its nutrition. If you had nothing else, you had bread you could live off. If you was the most poorest person, at least you lived off of bread. All right? So Hotep is depicted as bread on the table because you're adding value to somebody else, and in that you bring about peace. So the word Hotep means offering. It actually means offering. It's understood as peace because peace is brought about when someone comes to you for the first time or any time and they contribute. When someone shows you, the incentive is to add value to you from the second they engage you. That's peace. That's Hotep. So when I commence a live stream, this is Hotep because I'm offering you something. So people may say, but you getting paid, so how is that philanthropy? If I teach you how to get paid, that's the gift that keeps on giving. If you pay $120 for a course that teaches you how to get off the clock, that's Hotep. If you pay for mentorship and now I got you making 6 figures a year, that's Hotep. If you pay for consulting and I'm able to make an assessment per the email with the questions, upon the payment I send you some questions so I can make an assessment about what it is that you need done, and I give you the necessary links, the resources, the addresses, or even the people that you need to network with, where to go, what you need to buy, what applications to download, what subscriptions to make. And that's from $200 an hour, $300 an hour. That's Hotep. I added value to you. I added more value to you than ever was taken away. So a brother told me, yeah, I'm going to make this sacrifice and I'm going to pay for the program. I said, brother, get those words out of your mouth. Sacrifice. Investment. Words are a GPS to reality. If you think you're making a sacrifice by putting in money that should benefit you, I already know you vibrating on a lower frequency. And guess what? Turns out he was bullshit. That was yesterday. But words are a GPS to reality. If you're looking for the email for the class, just look at what's pinned to the top. It says brotherpolight45@gmail.com. I actually have it pinned to the top, so that way I don't have to keep spelling it out. Brother, POLIGHT45@gmail.com. POLIGHT45@gmail.com. If you're interested in mentorship, courses, and consulting, that's how that works. Don't get in people's way that's serious about making the bread. That's what that's about. Don't do that. Coconut. It's my Gatorade. The real Gatorade. It's coconut, man. It's coconut. Y'all know what it is. Straight out the coconut, not that plastic container stuff. You know, plastic is porous, and it changes the whole composition of the actual water. The human body's electric. This has 5 major electrolytes. It's infused with the 5 major electrolytes. It's amazing. Great for the prostate, great for the womb. Great for the corpus callosum. Part of the brain helps you remember. The brain that's consecrated for memory. Tariq said I was dropping hot fire on Hidden Colors 5. Salute to Tariq Nasheed for showing that love. Thanks, Alan Thomas. Send me the, if you can give me the time code for when Tariq is saying that on one of his streams, in the link, that'd be dope. I like to repost that. Yeah, I put in pain. Yeah, I'll be humble. I know. I ain't tell people that I was on it, but I showed the picture. I brought it up. He brought it up mostly. Cause I just be quiet. You know why? Because confusion comes about because there's so many people working in an effort to suppress the information I have to share that I don't even talk about anything I got going on. I just let it manifest. And that's a strategy that I employ, that I even tell brothers and sisters that I'm coaching. Don't tell the people around you what you want. Let it manifest. Because people will go to sleep at night, and rather than dream about what they need to build, they'll create nightmares about how they need to destroy. And that which they want to destroy is what you're building. People will rather go to bed contemplating on your destruction than they would even conceive the manifestation of their own thoughts. That's what we're dealing with in this day and time. So I even got to the point, I'm like, yo, with all these tens of thousands of people that don't like me, you may say tens of thousands of people don't like you. Yeah, perfect equation. So then people say, well, you must be doing something wrong. You must be doing something wrong to have that much people don't like you. Absolutely not. At first I thought that. Then I said, man, something ain't right. All these people disliking me and wanting to bring me down, but it made perfect sense. And my rate is about mathematics. So if I was teaching a room of 30 people, maybe one person becomes a detractor, doesn't like what I'm saying. If I teach a room of 300 people, in ratio, maybe 10 people out of 300 don't feel me. That's fair, right? Or maybe 3 people out of 30 don't feel me. And then maybe 30 people out of 300 don't feel me. Then 3,000 people, maybe 300 people don't feel me out of 3,000. Then out of 30,000 people, maybe 3,000 people don't feel me. It's 10%. No one says I got to win everybody over. But maybe I don't win 10% people. But 30,000 people feel me. Why should I focus on the 3,000 that don't? I still got 27,000 people feeling what I'm saying. So what if now I got 300,000 people paying attention to me? And you can go all over the internet and you can see numerous classes where I do well over 300,000 on Sinetta's channel, on Vlad TV, Breakfast Club, over 1 million. We can see there's plenty of places. Okay, so if 300,000 people hear my message, there's a likelihood of 30,000 people really not liking me for whatever the reason. Be they agent provocateurs, be they offended by my spiritual disposition or my dissenting views about their religious dogma, whatever the case is. So 300,000 people may warrant 30,000 detractors. And then what if I get to 3 million? And we know this is true because I got views over 30 million on several videos. 1 million, I've done that several times over, obviously. So what if 3 million people listen to me? You see what I'm saying? Now you can understand why I might have 300,000 people don't like me. Look how that works. But if 300,000 people don't like me, why should I ignore the 2.7 million people that appreciated the message? So people be like, yo, but how come people say all these bad... You know, sometimes people call me, and I'm thinking they want to get a service. Yeah, but, you know, before I do this, I just want to know, why so much people say so much bad stuff, you know? Because I'm just thinking, I'm like, bruh, man, do the knowledge, not the gossip. Because I don't got time for that. Yo, you want me to pay for something you're doing, but you don't want to tell me why people don't like you. I'm saying to myself, if a video does 3 million views and 300,000 people come out of that not feeling me, and inside of that 300,000 there will be some committed trolls, why are we not focusing on the 2.7 million that feel me? Is anybody out here just getting millions of views? Look at any of those people that talk negative about me and see the highest view mark they get. And also, look at anything I get those millions of views on and see what it is I'm talking about. My highest amount of views, I don't have no videos where I'm talking about somebody I don't like, and it's one of my highest views. When you look at these people, the highest amount of views they get is when they talk about someone negative, and it still cannot compare to my viewership. I get my views teaching on real estate. I get my views teaching about wellness. I get my views teaching about politics, about economics, about qualified retirement plans, cash and tax deferrable compensation arrangement plans, administrative affidavits of specific negative avertment, opportunity to kill and counterclaim and admiralty. This is what I get. Breaking down the house joint resolution, breaking down transmitting utility, breaking down mortgage hypothecation. Okay? This is what I get my views on. Breaking down nursery rhymes. I got a video that just went viral with me breaking down nursery rhymes in the old McDonald's song. Several members of the sports, music, and entertainment community kept reposting it. I got another video that went viral, 60-second video just breaking down milk, how it has 750,000 somatic cells of euphemism for pus and 24,000 live bacteria before the Food and Drug Administration takes it off the shelf and how it's allowed to be pasteurized, a process in which they use radiation to prolong the shelf life of the milk. Okay? I know how to compact, detailed information and put it in a 60-second form for conveyance. Because this is what I'm really interested in. That's what I'm really interested in. You feel what I'm saying? And so you can't ask me, the guy getting 20 million views and 30 million views, 10 million views, 500,000 views. How come those 10,000 people don't like me? Because I understand the ratio. That ain't something for you to ask me. You figure that out yourself on your time. When you talk to me, you must be talking to me based on the knowledge that has you enticed. You must be talking to me because you started verifying what I'm teaching and saying, you know what, this is hitting. Now other people call, but how come you know it? That's what's just making me uncomfortable. What's making me uncomfortable is that you know it and other people don't know it. And I'm like, the lack of the question has always been the answer to the ignorant. You know, you ask for something about God, and if they can't explain why something's taking place, the answer is God must be responsible. Every time they don't know the answer, it's because God. And look how that logic works. The lack of the knowledge gives motion or reason for the answer. The law of contrapositive. And we can take that to the law of disjunctive inference. So, no, it don't work like that in my world. It doesn't work like that in my world. In my world, if what I'm teaching is substantive, there must be a reason why it led you to the point of the phone call in the first place.
Right.
You get to the phone call, you start getting scary, and then now you start just wondering all sorts of things. Yo, do that on your time. Don't do that with me. Do that on your time. Because if somebody would turn around and ask, do you got any testimonials? Watch this. If I get a regular brother or sister that nobody knows, that's giving a testimonial, they're my friend. And I put them up for it. And you know, people not used to teaching or talking. So sometimes they write things out because they looking to do me a solid because they want to tell everybody the job that I did. And I'm telling them, yo, do it in 60 seconds. And some people, because most people not used to talking, they write it out. Then you know what people say? Yo, you could tell they reading something. Yeah, and guess what? It still wasn't that good. They wrote it out and it still wasn't that good. Because they don't write or speak for a living. They just want to do a good job telling people the job I did.
Right.
And so I said, man, I'm stopping that because people saying those are my friends. So you ain't got no testimonials. And then I got people that made near $1 billion, made $1 billion, people that are worth $100 million, $50 million, attesting to me. Literally. Breaking down what I taught them about investments, or the fact that I'm a beast when it comes to investments. Right on my Instagram, right on my Facebook, right on my YouTube. Mostly on my Instagram and Facebook. And guess what they say now? They disregard that. I can sit there with Meta World Peace at the Breakfast Club, and they could be asking him about my mentorship. And they're like, yeah, Polight's my mentor. So why did you get a mentor? A whole interview with a millionaire breaking down how I'm mentoring him. And you still asking me for a testimony. You feel what I'm saying? Like, they don't even realize they sitting there listening to a testimony. Like, yo, I got financial advisors, I got this attorney, I got this agent, I got this wealth guy, da-da-da. But you know what? I learned so much with Polight that I ain't learned from none of them. He ain't even go to school. Like, what you want? What you want? Over 1 million views on World Star, over 1 million views on YouTube. On Facebook, one of my Breakfast Club videos that shared, it's at 42 million. 42 million views. Over 1 million shares, 42 million views. There's another one I just recently posted at 23 million views. 757,000 shares or something to that effect. But you wonder, where I get all these people that's mad at me? If you only could see the people that's mad at me, then something's not right. But you gotta understand, the negative people want to have all the say. The positive people just be sitting back, adding another stroke to the views count. They don't really, positive people just don't be, they don't talk like that. Negative people bang. Positive people support quietly. That's just how that works. You go look at a comment section and see a bunch of negativity, but then you got to turn around and look at the view count and be like, yo, hold on, this shit is 200,000 views. And you'll see some of those people, a lot of those people are repeat offenders. They put a cut and paste paragraph to everybody that says something positive. Oh man, this brother's a genius. No, he's not. He's trying to trick you. And then the same person is just religiously going after what they do. You know why? Because they're religious and they're upset. Because I don't believe in their God, and I'm more empowered to communicate to them with the masses than they have been empowered as much as they kiss their gods behind. They always kissing gods behind. And God ain't giving them the empowerment for them to have the influence to speak to millions like I do. Facts. Facts. Come on, man. The mayor of Chicago became mayor with about 250 to 300,000 votes. If I get 23 million views, what is it for me to become a mayor of any place? I'm like, yo, all you need is 250,000 votes? I think I'm doing millions of views. So understand the power. There's forces out there like, nah, we gotta always put something out there to prey on the innocent minds. But back to it. How come I know what I know and other people don't know? How come I know what I know and other people don't know? For the same reason I didn't know. I was relying on school to tell me. From pre-K to 12th grade is 14 years of school. In those 14 years, did they teach you about credit card redlining? In those 14 years, did they teach you about real estate? You know, it's like the attention span of people is wild. This has nothing to do with none of that. It's just a shame because I want to read the comments, but then I got to see people like Anton, DeAndre, so upset that I praise women. Yo, I got love for Brother Polight, but I ain't worshiping no woman. But if you listen to Brother Polight, I say look up the word worship. It means to deal with someone in high admiration or respect. Admiration means a great deal of love. So to deal with someone with a great deal of love and respect, you still mad about worship? You don't worship your mother in that context? Look at the word worship. That's what it means. But you religious nuts. You hear the word worship, you think you bound on the floor kissing someone's shoes. That's what you thinking. Because you only can associate the word to religious rhetoric. But if you look up the word, it just means adoration, admiration, respect. Look it up. I guarantee you don't see nothing that says bowing down on your knees. Nothing about worship says that. I just look up the word. I'm like, oh, shoot. Okay. Be humble, Polight. I say, hell no, I'm not going to be humble. Because I looked up the word. You know what humility is? You know what it is to be humble? To have a low estimation of your worth. Look up the word humility and then ask yourself, how could black people be humble in this day and time where people are constantly making us feel insecure about our dark skin, insecure about our big nose, insecure about our big lips, insecure about our nappy or kinky hair, insecure about our own intelligence. So look up the word humility, and it's to have a low estimation about one's worth. A low estimation about one's worth. Look up the word humility right now and tell me what you see. And you'll be like, yo, who's spreading this rumor that we need to be humble? There got to be better words to describe what you want out of a person to be humble. There has to be a better word. I know what you want it to mean, but when you stop and you look up some of these words that's so popularly widespread in the community, people telling you, yo, you need to be more humble. No, I don't need to have a low estimation of my own value. Because in order for me to succeed, it has to be the complete opposite. I debate so much that I had to take the time out to make sure I understand the words that I'm using. That's one of my debate strengths. One of my greatest strengths in debate is, hold on, let me just make sure before this debate moves forward, or before I sue this person with a difference in opinion, let me just double check what this word means before I talk. And I go, whoa, hold on, fam. That's not what we doing. So when I say the black woman is God, but you say you don't believe in God, I say I don't believe in God based on religion. But I can take the colloquial meaning of a word. I can take the surface meaning of a word. I can take a dictionary reference that's non-associated with religion. No, God deals with religion, and if your black woman's God, then whose God is? Says the mighty Hebrew I was debating. I'm like, bro, I don't know. People do this over and over. Every time I talk to these brothers, they do this over and over. I'm like, I don't know if you are set on making sure you ignore everything I'm saying, but I'm saying it slow and over. God is a neuter noun. That means it's inclusive of God, and God is like when you neuter a dog, okay? It's damn near like it's not exclusive to any gender at this particular point. God is a neuter noun. After saying that, and it's a fact, why don't you say I stand corrected? I don't get people. Yo, God is this, God is that. You know, I'm like, why? I don't get it. I just don't get it. Oh, look at this. So my wife just pulled up on her phone. Being humble. You knew that? See, she said she ain't know that. Look at that. Look at that. Humble. You want me to be humble? Is having or showing a modest or low estimate of one's own importance. You want me to have or show having or showing a modest or low estimate of one's own importance. So the next time someone tells you to be humble, they want you to have a low estimate of your own importance. Ask yourself, as a father, as a mother, as a brother or a sister, if you can make strides as the strength of your family, having a low estimate of your own importance. Like, you gotta be humble. I can't be humble when I'm doing a debate. I can't be humble if I'm leading a community. I can't have a low estimate of my own importance. There gotta be a better word. Someone put that in our community, and now everybody, humble yourself, bro. Have a low estimate of my own importance? No, I'm not doing that for nobody. I'm not doing that for nobody. You feel what I'm saying? That's what I'm like, the most commonly misused words. Can you look up worship for me? I'm showing you. So when I say I worship black women, people so angry with black women, it's ridiculous. I'm like, fam, you telling me I don't have the right to respect black women? Because that's what it means. You got these religious fanatical ideas. But remember, these were the words they associated with English that were poor translations. Because those words mean something totally different in another language. And it's not the word worship. Look at this. Look at this right here. Worship. The feeling or expression of reverence and adoration. Now let's look up reverence just to make sure. Let's look up reverence. Reverence is deep respect for someone or something. So when we're dealing with worship, we're dealing with reverence, and we look up reverence, it means deep respect for someone or something. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. Okay, so worship is feeling or expression of reverence, which is deep respect for someone or something. The feeling or expression of reverence and adoration. Let's look up adoration, because this is what worship means. What does adoration mean? Here we go again. Deep love or respect. Look at that. Deep love and respect. That's adoration. So, let's go back. So the feeling or expression of reverence and adoration. So we know worship is the feeling or expression of reverence and adoration for a deity, right? And then we can look up deity, because I did that before. Now let's do this. Let's just make sure we understand. A god or goddess. And what is a god? Anyone who's in control of a specific aspect or creation. Non-religious term. Divine status, quality, or nature. Okay? A creator or a supreme being. The woman's a creator. Or I give her divine status, or quality, or nature. That's my right to see her as divine. I see giving birth as a divine process. I seen the child being made manifest, the gestation period. I see that as divine. Now let's go. Let's go for divine. Hold on. We just gonna keep going. Okay. Of, from, or like God or a God. Excellent or delightful. Okay. And then they got the theologian versions of it. So you got the regular context. It's of, from, or like a God. So there we go. I see the woman on a perspective where she's divine, or she's doing something that's divine, or is of or like God. So she's been given the ability to procreate. If God is considered the creator to the average person, and she has the ability to procreate, she's liking to that of a God. She's doing something that's of or like God. And for that, I worship her. And to worship her as such is to have adoration or reverence for her, or a deep love and respect. That's it. I have a deep love and respect for her because I see her doing something that's of or like or reminiscent to that of God as a creator. I respect her in her capacity as a creator. So much so, I just give her adoration or reverence because I worship her, which means deep respect. That's all. It just means I give her deep respect. I just go from one word to the next, and when I look up a word, I look up the words that meaning is consistent of, and then I look up each word. Like, yo, let me make sure I know what reverence means. Let me make sure I know what adoration means. Let me go back to the word again. Let me look up this deity thing. Let me look up, oh, okay, divine. Of or like that of God. I'm like, oh, okay. Of or like. Not even necessarily God. You don't got to be God to be divine. You could be doing something in a capacity that people will render that of a God. So a deity would be divine, and divinity is predicated upon being of or like, or showing something reminiscent that of God. Not necessarily God. So, oh, okay, so deity is connected to divinity, so I can have a deep level of respect for someone such as a deity. But if I deify somebody, I look it up. I could be deifying somebody because I see something that they do as divine. And if they're divine, I look up divine, and I see you could be doing something of or like God. Not necessarily rendering you God, but you still can be acknowledged as a deity for demonstrating divine principles. So why people want to take that from me? That's just the words I choose to use, and I could qualify why I arrived at those conclusions. I can always backtrack and tell you, I can show you in my research why I keep arriving at these conclusions. People don't do that for you. I'll say, okay, I looked up this word, then I saw reverence here, then I saw adoration, then I looked up adoration, then I looked up reverence, then I had deep respect, then I saw the word deity there, then I gotta look that up, then I saw divine, then I saw of or like God. I realized it didn't necessarily have to be a God, but I looked up God, and then I saw a meaning there that says one who's in control of a specific aspect of creation. And I said, yo, the woman is in control of a specific aspect of creation on several occasions, different and separate from men. From the rudimentary nipples that we have, meaning we can't use them completely. We can't really use our nipples. She can, making her more complete in that particular capacity. We get our rationale, our cognitive abilities from the X chromosome. Our ability to think. Yo, man is smart. Anything a woman thought of, man gave it to. Okay, but I see what you're saying, but science teaches us the whole reason we can think and evaluate things comes from that X chromosome. They still argue with me. So I know planet Earth is an insane asylum. Planet Earth is an insane asylum. Facts. Because I can qualify everything I'm talking about, and I can show you, based on the language we're speaking, this is what I'm saying. It's clear you don't understand what I'm saying because you ain't take the time out. You want to tell me about etymology and break all these words down, but while you're running from the words itself, before you can start looking for other things going on with those words, fam, do you even understand the language you're speaking in the first place? Because when I'm talking to you, it's like you don't even hear what I'm saying. Then I'm taking the time out to show you, fam, this is why I arrived at this conclusion. If she's God, who's goddess? Bro, it's a neuter noun. Look it up. It's a neuter noun. It means it can be, like man is a neuter noun. Man can be man as in the gender exclusively for males, or man can be inclusive of man and woman as in mankind. Man can be man and woman, or man could just be man by itself. God is God and goddess inclusive. Though you have an appropriation for the female rendition itself, but if you get corrected and someone says, yo, bro, I hear what you're saying, but you're wrong, it can be applied to male or female. So I render the female God, peace, King. If I render the female God, I have just as much right to do so, and it's synonymous if I render her goddess. It's the same thing. But you know what hurts? Because man has had a monopoly on the word God for so long that he don't want to share that with women. He don't. Because when we say goddess, subconsciously, it still seems like she's subsidiary to him. So that's why in my application, in my conveyance, I get straight to the point. God. It was designed for both. I'm using that one. Because you want me to say goddess, because somewhere in your head, you're going to put her second to God. So I remove the ignorance. I take the time out and I see the psychology behind it. Where people, I'm like, yo, if I show you it's a neuter now, why are you trying to make me say goddess if I just made it clear it's for both? That tells you something's wrong with people, like they sick. I never heard somebody present to me facts and I just deny it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, this is planet Earth here, man. And they crazy on this planet, man. They crazy. Word. Peace to the family that's in Ghana. That's what's up. Yeah, man, but pardon me. I'm just, and I mean, you got just weirdos. Look, he mad now. Yeah, I'm mad. I'm mad at the ignorance. He mad. So you see he falling apart. He losing. Yo, bro, my man just said we didn't evolve from apes. Apes evolved from us. I said, do you realize you just said apes are more complex and ahead of us genetically? Why don't you say devolve? If you wanted to propose something like this, that man came first, then came apes. And this is Hebrew Israelites. And then if you ask another Hebrew Israelite, he don't know where that came from. Like, it's just, this is planet Earth. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Welcome to Earth. Welcome to Earth. I know I don't belong here. Because I can't think like them on my worst day. On my most illiterate day. If you took away my ability to read and assimilate data, I'd never be as slow as these people. Never. Something ain't sit right with me from the time I was young about all of this. It never sat right with me. But it's just everybody was under the spell, so I had to find my way. But it never sat right with me. And most times it don't sit right with nobody when they're their youngest. It's when you get old, you start being in conformity with the lies. You feel what I'm saying? Love to you, man. Yeah. They and me, we are not the same. If they calling themselves human, then I'm like, I'll pass. Like, that's just how I'm moving right now. Because I just think different. I can't think like how they think. I even attempted to. And all I did is wind up with a headache. I do my best to rationalize the way they do, and I just don't know how they can arrive at those conclusions. I don't know how someone can present to you actual facts, non-debatable. If I say this is a neuter now, I didn't create the language. I'm only speaking it with an understanding. If I show you something and you still say 4 or 5 times after, yo, if she's God, then who's goddess? I know there's a serious mental block there. Something's not right. Like, you have to actually be sick at some point or the other. Something as simple as that. I'm here texting Sai, yo, fam, we got to get off of this stream. I can't do this. He like, nah, Polight, you got to stay on. I said, yo, we are at a roadblock here. Right here. How much more damage needs to be done? This guy is lost. He's crazy at this particular point. Something's not there. And I've been through this before, especially when it comes to giving women credit. It's like I got to say the same thing over and over. If she's gone, then how come she's on her cycle? I'm like, what? I said, bro, did you not hear me say the qualifier for her being a god is being in control of a specific aspect of creation? Do you breastfeed? Do you have colostrum fluid for the child? Do you have a cycle that stops when it's time to conceive a child? Do you undergo 9 months gestation? No, these are parts of creation that's exclusive to her, separate and different. Now give me, well, man does his thing, a woman does her thing. Yes, in different categories. Now, since we're talking about creation of the child, outside of you donating sperm, show me the multitude of things that you contribute to creation that's exclusive to you, and we'll line it up with the things that's exclusive to her when it comes to creation, and then we'll look at this definition of God, one who's in control of a specific aspect of creation. We'll look this word up. We'll look this term up. And if we find that she is in control of a specific aspect of creation several times over, unparalleled to her male counterpart, why does it hurt you to render her that which the definition confirms? Okay, we have to concede that she embodies that definition. We have to concede she is the epitome of that definition. It doesn't take nothing from me. It's just a meaning of a word whose best appropriation is for her. That's it. You don't even have to create a religion around it. It's just a word that corresponds with her. But why are you using the word God? Because that's what that word means. I'm using a word based on what it means. It's like, damn. The Minister Jap guy. So why she didn't get us out of slavery? Dude, you asking for the female to get you out of slavery? Like, it's getting, you going too far. You're doing too much. And she did get us out of slavery, actually, because we was the one being murdered. And she had to hold the fort down. But anyway, you have expectations. You think I'm offending your God and your religion. And then you give the black woman expectations you never gave your spiritual God. I don't give her those expectations because I asked them. I said, yo, if you do wrong in this world, I said, if you do wrong in this world, are you still black? Yes. If you become enslaved or get murdered, was you still a black man? Yes. So she's still God on the principle of what has been established or what's the criteria for God. She's in control of a specific aspect of creation. It never said that she can't make mistakes. It never said that she can't be enslaved. It never said that she can't have abortions. It never said that she can't break up with somebody. It never said that she can't put someone on child support. That definition has nothing to do with morality or any of that. It just has to do with that which, in essence, corresponds with who she is on a physiological scale, on a biological scale. It has nothing to do with that. So I'm like, yo, talking to people is like, you guys are like idiots. It's like the attention span of people is so minimal. They can't even understand. No matter what you put in front of them, like, fam, do you realize this definition doesn't have nothing to do with your child support grievances? Whether she's a good person or a bad person, she's still going to be rendered that based on the meaning of the word? It's like, but you know, we still going to have that. But the man plants the seed. Bro, do you realize it's a non-religious meaning? You can give it up. You can give that up. Like, we're not talking religion. Like, chill. Yeah, but we gave it a seed. Do you? Okay. But when I ask you, can you show me the things that deal with creation that man is responsible for versus what she's responsible for when it comes to creating another life? Let's run a parallel and let's see. Well, she can't do without the seed. Yeah, bro. Seed has been the one and only thing on the list. Let's make a list between the male and the female and see who has control over specific aspects of creation. Draw the list. One side is the male, one side is the female. And if you find the female on several occasions, way more than that of her male counterpart, has control over specific aspects of creation, then render her a god based on the meaning of the word. You don't have to sacrifice your religion, your chauvinism, your misogynistic views. You don't have to sacrifice your belief that men were actually here first, or the rib was taken out of one entity and put in the other. Like, you don't have to give up none of that. We're talking about the meaning of a word in a language that we're speaking. That's all we're doing. We're talking about the meaning of a word in the language we're speaking. You don't have to give up nothing you believed in when you're dealing with words and their meanings. That's the hardest part. And if you're having a problem with that, you'll never ever really be able to be taught anything of significance, because your religious dogma has you blocked and barricaded from truth. You have been compromised. You have exceptions to being able to process truth. Yeah, so here we go with all this. You can have, like, give it up, dude. You got a refrigerator, but it don't have a plug. The refrigerator won't work. Like, come on, bro. Stop this silly shit, man. Like, it's like, damn. Like, niggas be so insecure with themselves that if the woman has to get some love or praise, they feel like you belittling them. It's just the meaning of a word. I don't have no religious connection with it. It's not religious for me. Like, I'm not pushing a religion on you. This shit is corny what people be on. Corny. It be mad corny what people be on, man. Niggas is breaking down fridges if they got a plug. If the refrigerator's not plugged, then the refrigerator don't work. This is what you gotta say after all of that. Yo, welcome to planet Earth. I'm done. I'm not even talking about this no more. Something ain't right, man. Yo, dude, I mean, he been going on. You need a seed. If the seed ain't, that ain't fly. So he came with the refrigerator analogy. I don't even know that's an analogy. Refrigerator don't work if you don't plug it in. So I guess the fridge is supposed to be the womb, and the penis is supposed to be the plug of the refrigerator. Like, I don't know what he's trying to pull off here. And if we got to go this hard to devalue the deep respect and love for a woman, because at the end of the day, all this was, I just said, yo, I worship the woman. And someone said, yo, I roll with Brother Polight, but I ain't worshiping no woman. And I'm like, then we look up the word worship, and it means to just have deep respect. With someone, it could be a deity. We look up deity, we see it can be applied to that which is divine. We look up divine, it could be of or like God. Oh, if you've been blessed with the ability to procreate, then you've been given a capacity. If you're coming from a religious perspective now, you've been given a capacity reminiscent to that of God. So that makes you divine. Anything that you've been able to do on a microcosmic scale to who you may conceive to be the Most High or the Creator. If you have a Creator and you're blessed with the ability to procreate, then you're doing something of or likened to God.
Aren't you in the image and likeness of?
If you're in the image and likeness of your God, then you just being here in manifestation is divine. Your whole existence is divine. Henceforth rendering you a deity. And now that we've established that you're a deity, I can have deep love and respect for you, or adoration, or reverence. It's like I just go down the line. Like don't just disagree with someone who took the time out to not only look up the words, but look up the words that the words was made up of, and then look up the words that those words were made up of until I ran out of words. I went down a whole thing before I could stop. And I had to put it all together and go back to the original word. Like, yo, what was I looking up again? And I had to go down the line again. Catch myself. So I don't get lost in all the different meanings to really encapsulate this whole thing. Because you can't really understand the word until you understand every word that word is made up of to convey that message. I can't understand worship until I understand reverence and adoration and deity. And I can't understand deity until I understand divinity. And I can't understand divinity until I understand of, like, or reminiscent to. And when I know when something's reminiscent to, of, or like it, then I finally got to the end of the road of that particular process to establish that particular thought. And I'm like, okay, I came to that conclusion. I didn't say she was God and attempt to prove it. I read all of that, and I was able to render her God. Now, if a person gives you all of that, you can say, I understand where you're coming from. That's it. I ain't asking you to quit your religion, but don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about after I done walked you down. Because when I ask these people something, they give me a refrigerator and a plug. That's it. Refrigerator and plug. That's it. After everything I done worked so hard to do to establish my perspective so you can see where I'm coming from, that I'm not making this up, that I'm reading, I'm literate, and I'm making sure I use these words the right way, that's where I'm getting it from. And if all I can get after that, but yo, refrigerator don't work if you don't plug it in. It's like, you see, now I know, like if this was Sinetta, now I would have texted him and say, yo, this debate is done, I'm out of here. And he'd be like, yo, Polight, just stay on, please stay the course. People are watching, you know. And I'd be here like, yo, I'm not amused. Like, this is no longer intellectual. This is just something different. Like, this dude is sick.
Just different.
And if I called him sick, I can actually qualify what sick means. And then guess what Polight would do? I would actually look up the word. And I would take you down. I would walk you down so you could understand. I can prove to you you're sick. Because the inability to assimilate data or process it is a form of sickness. I can take you to cognitive dissonance. If someone gives you two things that you have to weigh on, and despite the premise being proven to you that what you've been conceiving to be true all this time is wrong, and you still go with the lie, cognitive dissonance. I can take you to spiritual bypass. I've taken the time out to make sure I can properly assess what's taking place when it's taking place, so I know when I need to get out of there. You feel me? The sun don't shine if light to move in. Y'all better stop. Yo, we got some funny people out here. That's right. Science tells all embryos start as a female. That's right. The shoe don't fit if you don't wear it.
What?
They just wilding out. They wilding out. Yo. Yo, I gotta rename this stream. Man, I gotta rename the stream, man. I just want to build it about something else. But yeah, man, I be needing y'all. I need y'all a whole lot to keep my sanity, because I've been having these religious debates that people been asking me to have, and I'm done again. I don't even want to. Yo, I be waking up in cold sweats. Like, are people really this lost? After, you know, a sister tells me that she has to repent because she was molested, because she still sinned because she had sex. But at the end of the day, she was molested because it was part of God's plan. Like, y'all don't know how it feels when I have to review the tapes. Y'all don't know how it feels knowing I was part of that conversation. Like, when I'm done, I'm like, yo, hold on. What was that? I was just part of it. It's like I just came out of vortex, and I'm like, did that really happen? Thank you, Zion Joseph. I appreciate you appreciating the information. The stream won't have a name unless it's named. Please stop. Oh, because you know how I just was building with people at random who want to save my life, and then, you know, That's how I wind up getting these new debates. God, we want to talk to the people. Could they be following? But they got their disagreements. And sometimes if they disagree on a level where I'm like, yo, put your money where your mouth is. Are you willing to come live, go on the live, and have this debate before the people? Then I know there's an educational factor to it. But it's just too much for me to do back to back. I'm going to tell you that. After dealing with Mighty Hebrew and dealing with that sister, it's too much at one time, man. I gotta space them out. Straight out of comic book, piece of the God. Strong-minded, piece of the God. Now you see, I do the debates. I don't debate people privately. I debate people before public. Because people could kind of look at themselves. It's like they're on the outside looking in. When you in a debate, you saying whatever you saying, but when you watching it, it gives you perspective. So a lot of times people will call themselves certain religions or say that they hail from certain religions. They gain more perspective listening to two people have a conversation than if you actually conversing with them directly. So I do it for teaching purposes. That's why I be doing the debates. There is no better way to teach than to talk to people indirectly. If you don't necessarily have to be wrong, you can just sit there and listen to somebody else being wrong. It can wake you up quicker than someone telling you what you're thinking is wrong. It's easier. It's less defense mechanisms. You don't have to worry about being embarrassed. You don't have to worry about agreeing with something that you was wrong about. You can just sit there and listen and decide, you know what? Damn, that sounds a little ridiculous now that it's been brought to my attention like that. But when you actually in the debate, you might be looking to maintain the disposition that you're right. So much so that you can't even hear when it's not even an argument and when you're actually incorrect. So I do it so other people can hear. So I would never debate these people by myself. Like me and them and no one else around, I would never do that. Never. That'll take me over the top. I'll be crazy at that point. I'll lose my mind. I will only have these kind of conversations where other people can hear and listen in. I will only do that. Because that's for my own sanity. Because what you'll find too, if you think people say ridiculous things to you, if you think people are saying ridiculous things before the public, imagine what they will say to you in private if no one's listening. Because the most silly things you will ever hear will be said to you in private. And that's why I wouldn't dare talk to any of these people privately. Because then I'll have to tell them what they just said. And they'll say, I never said that. But you see, when I'm on video, I can always tell people, play the video back. And what they do, they be a little bit more mindful. Even the most psychotic, lying mother freaker, they will be reluctant to just say anything, even though it sounds like they're saying just anything, because you're still like, yo, these people bugging. Trust me, if you talk to these people in private, they'll be using the fact that it's not recorded to their advantage, and they'll be just saying any damn thing, and you'll be telling them that's what you said, and then you'll be arguing with them, and then you'll be attempting to remind them that they just said it, and they'll be saying, no, I didn't say that, and then you'll just be flustered at that fact. Yeah, and so after a while, when people are like, yo, I don't get the purpose of the debate, it's not so much to convert that person. That person's kind of like the sacrificial lamb for logic and truth to prevail. We're catching that body so other people could wake up. We're putting her to sleep so many of you can wake up. Or we're demonstrating her sleep state so you guys can wake up. Let's say it like that. Or we're demonstrating another brother's sleep state so you guys can wake up. At least she has a foundation. What is Polight's foundation? What kind of stupidness is that? At least she believes that she's wrong for being molested. You hear how stupid people sound? At least she has a foundation. If her foundation tells her that the dude that molested her was doing this on behalf of God's plan and that she was wrong for being molested, you're saying at least she has that foundation? Are you a pedophile, sir? What's this guy's name? Let's find this. Lucius Lee says at least she has a foundation. You would love to know that a woman's walking around here blaming herself for being molested, huh, Lucius? You call that a foundation, huh? Disgusting. That's why I'm like, yo, those kind of doctrines just, they give way to people to do the wrong thing to other people, man. You know, what's funny? I write over 90 books. I got all these live streams up on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, several video excerpts. And then people still ask, what do I stand on? What do I believe? I mean, you can't figure that out after all this material? Nigga, I put out more material than God. I mean, literally, I got more material out there than God. You pick one. Allah, God, Jesus, pick one. I got more material out than them. And you don't understand me. I don't expect you to, because you don't understand Jesus shit. Jesus don't even got more information in his own book. It's his book, and it ain't even about him the most. Nigga, Paul got more say in the Bible than Jesus. Like, come on, man. No, I get it. That little bit of information he gave you, y'all don't even got that figured out. Y'all don't even got that figured out. That little bit of information. Word. Y'all tripping. At least she got a foundation. Leave it to a religious zealot to say something like that. Someone hit me on Instagram today. Was like, yo, yeah, the mighty Hebrew gave you that work. You couldn't handle him. I said, you must be Hebrew. He said, yeah, shalom. I said, how come y'all can't decide on how to say shalom? But anyway, don't answer that. I said, oh, so you believe that we didn't evolve from apes? Apes evolved from us? No. Hold on. So I just start breaking down several things that the Hebrew said. No. I said, hold on. You said he gave me work. So you believe in Madame Blavatsky? You believe he should use a well-known white female Satanist to establish a Hebrew's disposition on where we come from? You believe Aryans originally are black people? I'm like, no, bro. You're just trying to take all the things he was wrong about.
What kind of work you gave me?
I said, yo, I'm just trying to take all the things he was wrong about. These were the things I debated him about. Oh my gosh. I said, so tell me what I was incorrect about. You said you don't believe Moses existed. I said, that's not something to be incorrect about. I didn't say he didn't. I said, I don't believe it. It's a difference. And when I say I don't believe it, the burden of proof is on the possessor of the information. And he didn't qualify the information, so I asked him, please, refrain from talking about things he can't prove. Because this is a debate. This is something that we want to bring to the table, the things that we can prove. So I said, here's another shot. Give me something that I was wrong about in the debate. It happened. All I know is he gave you that work. I said, here we go. And thank you for wasting my time, sir. I had to get out of there. Because then I'm going to be crazy after a while. This is private now. There ain't nobody can see this conversation. I had to get out of there. I had to get out of there as soon as possible. And then with the sister with Jesus, like showing you 1524, the letter J is introduced into the alphabet. So Jesus doesn't get born yet till after 1524. Okay, 40 years later, there's a ship named Jesus, and it's the first slave ship that they use via the transatlantic slave trade, per the vision of Queen Elizabeth in collusion with John Hawkins to kidnap 300 to 500 slaves from Sierra Leone, abduct them and bring them to the Dominican Republic, where people don't believe that they're black today, when they play an integral role in being one of the first places that slaves were brought to from being kidnapped from Africa. So Jesus couldn't have been born until post 1524. There was nobody called on Jesus. And 40 years of this letter J being in circulation, there's a ship named Jesus. Like, you know how powerful that information is? And then I show you the slave songs where they talk about, Jesus, please don't sink me. Jesus, please don't sink me in the church and wade in the water. It all makes sense now. That the slaves that were praying for Jesus to come back were praying that the boat comes back and pick them up. It's sad, man. It's crazy and it's sad all at the same time. So after you show that to somebody and the woman says, I don't care, I'm still praying to Jesus. I'm like, let me ask you something. The person that molested you, would you name your child after the name of the person that molested you? No. Would you name your child Hitler? No. Why? Because the history associated with Hitler? Yeah. So with the history associated with Jesus, because we understand the name is made up, we've established when this name came into history, and we've established when this name was popularized per the ship that was created named after him. You okay with still praying to Jesus? I don't care. Sister, perhaps you didn't hear what I just asked you. And you see, like, I can only do that for so long. Because now it's like, yo, if you don't care, I got to remind myself I'm only having this conversation for other people to listen. I got too locked into her shit where I'm like, yo, whoa. I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of this conversation. I need to reset. I need to regroup because I'm starting to feel disorientated. So it said, hold up, these folks been praising a damn boat. That's a fact. The name of the boat is Jesus. 1564. I give you dates and times. Queen Elizabeth and John Hawkins, the slave master who was running the ship. The ship was named Jesus. They kidnapped the Africans, and the slaves sung songs to just keep their spirits up. They was told that they was going to go to a new place to get wealth and to get land, never to return again. And then they would make songs hoping that Jesus will return so they could go back home. This is facts. These are facts. The letter J comes into the language 1524. 40 years later, there's a ship named Jesus. And it's used to kidnap the first set of Africans. This whole live is bullshit. Mark Dorson. That's very intelligent. I wish I could just bring people on like on Instagram. I wish I could bring Mark Dorson on. I wish. But you know, a lot of these people cowards, because if you had to ask them to stand on what they're saying, they can't articulate it.
They hide behind the screens.
Because the cowardly thing to do that Mark just did was just use vulgarity to express a very vague point or disposition. Because up to now, we still don't know why Mark said what he said. He's just saying it's bullshit. I guess the boat being named Jesus is bullshit. I guess the letter J coming into the alphabet 1524. Or the ship going on its voyage to kidnap and drop off and solicit African peoples in 1564 inside of 40 years is bullshit. Or maybe the woman saying that it's a sin to be molested and her being molested is a part of God's plan. Maybe that's bullshit. But Mark is such a coward that he will only say bullshit, but he won't write what exactly is bullshit so it can be addressed. Because I don't know what I said in particular that's bullshit at this particular point in time. I'm just presenting facts. Nah, I don't want to block it. Mark Dorson, I've been saying what I had to say. Negro, say it now while we got attention on you. If you said it already, cut and paste it if it's too much for you to type it. We're waiting. I mean, you're only hiding behind the computer. Like, what is the fear? His name is Mark Durson, people. Let's see what part of this information is bullshit. Let's see if he agrees with a woman being molested and saying that she needs to repent because she's a victim. Let's see if he is in disbelief about the letter J and how there was no Jesus before the 1500s. And that the oppressor made up the name in the history of Jesus is negative. So why would you call on a name that was made up and used to facilitate your oppression? Come on, Mark. We waiting. You must be typing real slow. Let me find out you got 2 hands and 1 finger. That nigga's like this. We waiting. Come on, Mark Durson. We waiting. We want to know what part of what's being said is bullshit. You can't just get away with just vehemently disagreeing and not establishing why you do. See, it's easy for people to just say anything. But even if they're hiding behind a screen, look how hard it is for them to respond. We're all waiting here too. We're all looking for it in the chat. See, that's what I'm saying. It's easy to just say anything. Throw some curse words in there and just disagree. No intelligence whatsoever. I said what I had to say. Everything I need to say, I said it right. I hope he's a male. I hope he's a female name mark. That sounds like some real feminine disposition. A woman does it, it's alright. A man does it, it's very weird. I said what I had to say before. Yo, I know that ain't a man really talking like that. I said what I had to say before. It's already been written. Come on, Mark. Show up, bro. We here. Damn, he like nowhere to be found. Look at that, family. Look at that. He's afraid to write down what he thinks. What is the fear? You had enough courage to say this is bullshit. You don't have enough courage to establish what exactly is bullshit. Click on his name. If he has a green camera on it, you can bring him on. Nah, I think y'all, it don't be like that for the fan pages. Like, Brother Polight is the fan page. I think I can do that on the main page, Michael. If I come on this page, they didn't set it up yet, where you could do that on your fan page. Peace to the brother from Brownsville. Well, y'all, I'm going to close out. I thank y'all so much. I'm with the missus right now. Waiting for that baby to pop out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm with the missus right now. We just chilling. About to get some more coconut water. 4 to 6 a day. So, I love you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you for allowing me to vent my frustrations. I'll change the title slightly. Planet Earth is a trip. That's what I'm going to call it. Thanks for the love you're giving the sister Aminette. I love it. Thank y'all so much. Alright, so I want you to have the best night. Hotep and Iluvu. Iluvu and Nduasusu. Nduasusu means living language. That's the language for New Covenant members. Iluvu means perpetual success. That's what I wish you. I wish you success when I see you, and I wish you perpetual success the whole time until I see you again. Alright? So Hotep and Iluvu, and again it's brother POLIGHT45@gmail.com if you're interested in the mentorship, consulting, or getting the course for a 120 discounted rate to learn how to make monies in real time, step by step. Peace.